Alright fam, well it's time to engage. Moods are front and center, enter the stage. Mind, body and spirit to try synergy. Ask not like Kennedy, feel the energy. Jump as you live, try to give all positive vibes. Ignite your cognitive senses. The consensus, moods are stupendous, tremendous, and kicks like Juventus. Always on point, sharp like a knife, cutting through the bull, tame the strife of life. With no type of hype, don't like take a hike or roll the dice, grab the mic, connect like Skype. No need to save face, it's a safe space conducive to mental fitness, wellness inclusive. Chasing nirvana, elusive. Instead, shed the abusive pattern, real like the rings of Saturn. Full circle, Muta's in purple, royalty regal. She's killing you with kindness, it's almost illegal. So my people, life is up and down like a seesaw. Calito, fly away high like an eagle. Watch the leaves grow. Once my flow is flawless, then it's finito.
Okay, I don't want to waste any time. If you're listening to the song, I super apologize. I don't want to waste any time because we have our random caller right now who is going to give us our first positivity message for the week. Welcome, Ashley. How are you?
I'm good, Musa. How is shifting your mindset as a brand moving forward? You're doing God's work.
Thank you. You know what time it is. You've been there from day one. You've prayed for me.
Indeed. Yes. Yeah, all the time.
So thank you so much for coming onto the show. Tabani, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on, Muta, and welcome, Artie. Thank you so much for being our first random caller for the year. We're excited. It's an honor.
Thank you, Tabani. I'll try to call as often so I can come out of the random bracket and become a regular.
We like that.
There's a prize for that. So, yeah, get out of the random bracket.
Absolutely.
Oh, why not?
Why not? So, before we waste any time, because I'm so conscious, I don't know where the time went today. Artie, would you please give us a positivity message for the week for all our listeners, people that are going to listen, people that are all over the world? Can you just please give us a message, something you'd want to say to inspire one or two people out there in the world?
Well, what I can say, what I'm feeling is, living in truth and letting go. Yeah, it's very important, especially letting go. Letting go is very important. There's so many elements to it. Letting go of your old self, forgiving yourself, letting go of even old relationships. Just letting go so you can be free. Sometimes we do not fly away because we're not letting go. We're still kept at bay where we've always been, like a pigeon. That goes and comes back where we have to venture out. You mentioned the mind being the important thing, being the ark. When they say the body is the temple of God, a temple has sections, and there's actually dissections. But yes, the temple and the mind being where the ark is, and so on. I have an image that what I could not do yesterday, I can do now, and also to say, what I did yesterday, I might not be able to do in the future, and so on. I had a struggle with letting go, from previous relationships, and even, many parts of your life, your school life, your childhood life. Let go.
Wow.
We have to let go.
I like that. Tabani, do you want to go first? because I have some questions.
Yeah. Actually, thank you so much for sharing that powerful and insightful message. I think like what's very important, the aspect of letting go, which I feel like is what we need to do as individuals. And to our listeners, right, Ati, how do you then give them like that one practical solution to those that are struggling to let go of what they didn't achieve last year, so that they have the momentum to go and achieve it and go for what they want to do in the year 2020? What's that one practical step that they need to take?
First, the gratitude is important. So when the year begins, let us be grateful for what little or whatever we have achieved before we step forward, coming from a place of humility. I didn't have. There was a time I didn't have £10 in my pocket, but now I have what I have, and I have to look back and say, this. So what I can say to them actually, which is a solution. It's crazy that you mentioned this, because I was planning on doing something to practice letting go, and a friend picked it up as if it was a quantifiable solution, which is write a letter to your former self, maybe your 16-year-old self, and tell them what you're feeling better now, or I'm looking to travel. Update your former self so they can let go of you. That you have done everything you could to hold up your end of the bargain, and you shall keep going forward. You write a letter to yourself, updating them. Because we change even in appearance, you see. That's why we get old and wrinkly. It's a sign that we evolve. So through evolving, we have to let go. Even your own clothes, the ones you used to treasure the most, they no longer fit you. You have to let go. We have become hoarders of things, but things without meaning. And as much as we keep a lot of things in the houses or in the car, we are doing the same clutter in our minds. So we have to let go. You go to a party, you enjoy the moment there, and then let it go. Do not be stuck in a loop. I learned this from my white colleagues. I have to say, I have to bring color into it, because I realized this was, just don't get hung up on stuff. It's a minor, letting go, living again. So write a letter to your former self.
Ati, but what if I'm not a writer? What if what you're trying to describe to me is like, I struggle with writing, maybe I have dyslexia, or writing is just not my thing?
In that case, if I should move to where one is dyslexic, the writing of the letter is to extract things from your mind. I remember when I first then decided to write a letter, it brought me to tears. Writing about my own self, things that I had in my mind. So to extract it from your mind, to sit down and pen that letter. It's preferably 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m., those type of times. But then also following when the feeling creeps in, that's when you sit down to write. If you cannot write, then it's releasing. I say writing because to release, to let go, you have to release, right? You have to let go, like you're on a motorbike, you let go of the handles. If one cannot write, what can they do? Now they have to do the work in the mind. That's why they have to go within. It's never outside. The work is always within. They should try to take up, disciplines. Perhaps they would help. Disciplines that involve achievements, be it exercising, running, participating in certain groups, discovering new ideas, new people, new spaces. We let go of the old stuff because there's just too much now to deal with. So they would have to venture outside. But sometimes we have to note down, not being told by others who we are, by telling ourselves the truth of what we've lived through. For those that cannot write, I can can only imagine what they would then go through in their minds. But many people are not writing, you see. People don't write anymore. Not to others, not to ourselves. We just don't write. So it's all in the mind. There's a massive clutter. And we need to come to a place of releasing that. I'm realizing as well what your platform is doing. For those that cannot write, they can come to this radio. They can come to the Shift in Your Mindset radio, where we can then prepare monologues. If I'm feeling a certain way during the week, and if I pen that down, I can then come and recite it here. And those feelings can relate to others. So we can also use others as conduits to speak on our behalf. Those that feel the need to speak truthfully from the heart.
Wow.
It's a great that you carry on this radio.
I could never have enough of our conversations. You know, sometimes I run away from you because I know that sometimes you call me out. Okay. So that's a conversation for us after the show. But I wanted to ask, how do you know what to let go? How do you know that it's time to let go something? How do you know?
When it's out of your control.
Okay.
Things that are now out of your control. Let go. You know, why are you still hung up on your old lover who is now married? Let go. See, you are choosing to sacrifice yourself. Then it becomes a self-abasement, you see. So by not letting go, we go deeper into dark spaces. Our shadow ventures into darker territories.
Absolutely.
You know? So that's how you do it. When it becomes a deterrent to you and you can no longer control it, then you have to let go. This has to be the instinct inbuilt within you. Not going by the way of emotion, but going by the way of logic. You see?
Wow. Tabana, I think we have a sign that we need to finish that relationship podcast. Ati, you need to come on that podcast, you know. You need to come on that podcast. What are your thoughts, Tabani, so far?
No, this is quite powerful. Thank you so much, Artie, for sharing insight. And I think it's very important that people let go. You know, I think you shared a really clear analog of how the baggage is really suffocating and it's not allowing us to fly because it's clipping our wings, you know. And I would say that for those that can't write, Artie, thank you so much for really sharing this. I think I'm quite really blown away with how it's really important to also shed old skin and we come to the new. So Artie, so what would you like then say as like an affirming word to the listener saying that, okay, I want to shed old skin and go into 2022 with a renewed sort of outlook and drive in life. What's the one short advice that you can give them, or the one word that they need to carry throughout the year of 2022?
There's a lot that comes to mind. Time past and time future and time present, and where you are now is where you're not. As a mantra from this, I'll just go back to what Muta said earlier. Our only virtue should be to seek wisdom, not intelligence, because intelligence without charity is useless. And intelligence and charity and many other things fall under the banner of wisdom. I always say, pray to God and say, please grant me wisdom and discernment. Make me righteous and make me be a better leader to those around me. Wisdom, through the way of humility, is what will protect us. Because it applies for all. Because remember, Solomon, that's what he asked for. Wisdom involves even intuition. Sometimes when things go bad, that you then struggle to let go, is because you then forced that situation. You didn't follow your instincts. So if we are intact with our mind fully, we become aware of our instincts. The instincts, they give you a warning. Sometimes the traffic light is green, which is good. Yeah, nice. Don't have to stop. Sometimes it's red for a long time.
Powerful.
Until you stop, let the danger go by. Follow your intuition. Pray for wisdom. Pray for discernment.
What about for those that don't pray, Ati? What about for those that don't believe?
We all pray. Prayer is within the mind. Prayer is only a form of meditation.
Yes.
That's what it is. Pray at all times. It's a form of meditation. That's why when you wake up, to find peace within your mind, to go within. I always say to people, go within. Actually, what I should have said, Taban, is for people to go within, to go and find self within. You wake up at 4 a.m. You're not going to the toilet. You just randomly wake up at 3 a.m. What it's saying to you is, it is time to pray. It's time to meditate. Time to go within. Go and prepare our future. To go and reset ourselves. Imagine a computer, yeah? You'd never shut it down or restart it. You always put it on sleep and it's always on the charger. It's going to start glitching, It starts giving you problems. You have to restart it. We are trying to build even machines after our mind. Our mind is superior to them. So how do we look after even televisions? You don't leave the television on when you go to sleep. You switch it off. If we were absent the idea of electricity bills and everything, still you wouldn't just leave it on. So minds are staying on, they're staying hooked. How can you let go when you go back to the source? You think you've let go of this person, then you go back on social media and their sister has posted your old lover, and now you're unveiling the trauma again. You are torturing yourself, you see. You have images in your phone. You have collected baggage, pain. You carry around pain wherever you go. And you are the one who carry it. So it's you are creating chaos in your mind. You are creating horror. So by letting go, we have to declutter the mind. So many memories that are kept in the mind that are just trivial and just useless, frivolous things of no value. Things that come back to hurt you. So let us be wary of that which we treasure in our mind.
Wow. Tabani, any thoughts?
Wow. No, thank you so much, Archie. I think we would invite you to come and share again your wisdom. I've been blown away, the importance of letting go and just clearing your mind, clearing your storage. And
I have a question.
You just brought something to light to say that, we have phones, we have these devices that we make sure that we have certain measures that we put in place to make sure that these devices or those gadgets that we have are functioning properly. But why is it that we're not doing the same with the mind, which I feel is something that is very much powerful? Musa?
I have a question before you go, Auntie. Okay, so what if you are at a position where you want to let go? We talk about the lover type of thing, where you're in a position where you want to let go. Your intuition is telling you not to let go, but maybe a little bit of the dynamics is telling you that you have to let go. They're not married, they're there. How do you understand where to go, whether it's green, whether it's red, whether it's amber? How do you know?
It's just after you've been given closure, or you're still seeking closure and it's not been provided.
Right.
Because your intuition goes beyond pain. Your intuition does not acknowledge things such as emotional pain, physical pain. It's your defense mechanism that keeps you there. Your need for comfort.
Right.
Or to your hero mentality, wanting to fight, not choosing your battles carefully. Even Sun Tzu speaks about this in The Art of War. What battles have you chosen? You have gone to war, only a war that you knew that you the person you considered an ally was not even your ally to begin with. So you should not, the only my enemies I have to agree and armistice with, that I have to sit down with and broker peace. I don't have to broker peace with my friends. They are my friends after all. They are not my enemies. So you are in struggle to find harmony. So it is not a favorable situation for you at all. What are you fighting for? So there's also the element of self-esteem. We have to hold ourselves high esteem, and that's what is running rampant at the moment. Self-esteem is very low. You see, we have become judges of men. We want to fix people. We want to heal them. We want to be the added value to their life, but we have not become an added value to our own. So how can we help others? You see.
Yeah, and Archie, thank you for raising that. And to answer Muta, I always say the greatest answer that you can ever get, whether to keep someone or let them go, is the version of who you are when they're in your life. So if you love the kind of version that you are with that person, that should tell you whether they should stay in your life or not. And lastly, to add on to say that it's not your duty to fix anything. This realization changed my life completely. It's not your duty to fix anyone.
Wow. Amazing. It's been amazing. I hope whoever was listening, whatever happened last week that set you back, let it go. Whatever trauma, whatever anger, whatever if there's something that you are holding on to because somebody did something to you, let it go. We need to declutter. It's time for the new, in order for you to embrace. I always say, if you're holding things in your hand, if I'm holding 10 pounds in both hands, and if Tabani or Atia to walk up to me with 1,000 pounds in each hand, I'm going to have to drop those 10 to be able to embrace the 1,000. We are so sometimes, we set ourselves back, or we lose things because we are holding on to things that are not of value. You are the first value, okay? Because I'm an empath, it took me years to be able to understand, or to be able to actually acknowledge that it's okay for me to be selfish for myself. Not selfish in a sense, but it's okay for me. Well, the world would deem it selfish, but it's okay for me to look after me first before I become an empath, or before I become of service to anybody else, because I will not be of any service to anybody if my mind is not right. But that took a lot for me, because I always said, I know my passion is for me to be able to help people. I know my passion is to be able to change the world. Therefore, I put the world first before me, and the world got the best of me. I got a lot of heartache. I got a lot of disappointments. I got a lot of, baggage that I did not need to carry. But now with growth and wisdom in understanding, when you're in tune, the greatest power you will ever have in this world, the greatest power you will ever possess is the power of being in tune and aligning with yourself as a spiritual being, as a person in the physical and in the spiritual. When you own your power, when you own your path, when you own your process, when you own who you are, when you own Mutsa, when you own Rachel, when you own Ati, when you own Tabani, when you own Field, when you own whoever person is there, if you own yourself as an individual and you understand yourself as a person, all the other things that are going to be thrown your way, or all the other experiences you will experience, will become a no-brainer, because you know You know
No
who
problem.
you
Thank
are
you.
yourself. You know what is of value. You know what serves you and what doesn't serve you. Thank you a lot, boys. I am going to take a quick break. That is super amazing.